Hello, Mayor. Today I would like to explain how I basically sacrificed my Frosty Fjords region to turn it into basically a Neo cash bank or cash machine. Wait, that's a song. No, I probably can't use that song in here because, it's copyrighted. Anywho, welcome to my Frosty Fjords region. And you will see that I have used the Omega layouts that are very popular on all the platforms like Reddit and Facebook, which give you the most bang for your buck, or basically the most coverage for your Omega buildings. We have a small control net tower in the middle, and basically 16 residentials in 4 little squares surrounding it. Now, as you can see, I have eliminated a few roads to replace them with some trees and some bridges, Omega bridges, of course. And the other empty spaces I have used as parks to try and get, again, the most bang for my buck. Because the last region requires 10 million residents. I'm not sure I'm ever going to get to that point. But so Frosty Fjords, there's nothing wrong with the houses, the original houses that come with Frosty Fjords. Let's see if I can find them here, this one. I'm not going to do this because it's going to require quite a bit to level it up. Because, let me show you, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 of these Omega cubes. Together, they give me, at the moment, 29,000 Neo Sim cash every day. The goal, of course, is to level these all up. And I know that 20 fully upgraded Omega residential houses, or skyscrapers in this case, will give you 4,000. I currently have 12 times 16 is 192. 192. You can see it over there on the left. And if 4,000 is what I can get with 20, then almost 200. I can't do math anymore. Oh my god, I need a calculator. I used to be so good at doing math just on the top of my head. It's declining. I blame TV. I shouldn't blame TV. I love TV too much. Anywho, so let's start with quickly collecting the night's worth of Neo Sim cash. Another one. There we go. But yeah, the only reason why I did that is I'm not a big fan of the original Frosty Fjord residential design. Okay, it looks Scandinavian enough. It looks like those Swedish wood constructed houses that are often painted red, I think. As long as they're small, but as soon as you upgrade them, they start to, the style tries to stay similar, but I feel like when you upgrade the Frosty Fjords residences, you get these very 90s looking, I'm not sure if the architectural style is neo-modernism, but basically they remind me of those 90s malls. Not 80s malls. 80s malls can be cool. They had lots of neon, I'm thinking of Stranger Things right now, a little bit too much probably, but still. But yeah, malls from the 90s, they use these big squares and these big circles like it wants to hark back to the days of Art Deco when geometric designs were all the rage. But they just did it so bluntly and not very nicely. And those 90s malls, I don't like them. And over here in Belgium, you have a lot of stations that look like that. A lot of train stations and tram stations and even a few metro stations. I hate them. So as the goal is to level up all your residences in as many of your regions that you have already unlocked to unlock other regions, I was like, I don't like these houses. Let me just sacrifice Frosty Fjords and turn it into one big Neo Sim Cash bank. So yeah, this took me like 3 months to get to this point. Maybe a little bit longer. Let's say 3 to maybe 4 months at most. So I haven't really been upgrading my Omega storage as much as I probably should have, because I've mostly just been using all my items to upgrade all my Omega buildings. It takes a while. It might have been better if I had, fully upgraded one square, then started the next, upgrade that completely, then started a third one, but I didn't do that. I went for speed. I immediately fully designed my square layouts, leaving this big plot in the middle where I hope to do something nice still. And I just filled it up. Oh, let's see what this is. Okay. And I just quickly filled it up. And now I'm starting to regret that, but there's no real way back. So I'm kind of stuck with it, but I'm okay with it. It just takes me about a week, maybe a little bit more, to save up enough. Because one of the other things that I want to do in this region, and eventually all my regions, is replace all the general services with the Omega option that is available. But as you can see, here for electricity, I just need one more and then I'm finished with this region. But at this point, it requires 190. Now, obviously, my neobank can't store that much, which is why I always have all these Omega bridges, and then I just delete them, as many as I need. Sure, they cost 16,000 Neo cash, and I only get 8,000 back when I destroy them. But as you can see, I have plenty of those bridges. So usually after a week, I can demolish a few of the bridges, and I actually can get what I need to fully replace all the classic service buildings with the Omega alternative. I will start with Frosty Fjords, but the idea is to do all of that in the 3 other regions that I've already unlocked. It's already done in my capital. I actually started with the capital. So that's done. And at some point, I did a few, I think, in my other regions, but no, apparently not this one. No, not Cactus Canyon, but I know I did it in a few regions. Probably Limestone, because Limestone was the first one that I actually unlocked. Yeah, over here you can see that I've already done a few over there as well, but the goal is now to fully Omegafy Frosty Fjords and see how easily I can progress from that. Now, 12 of these buildings, 12 of these squares currently give me 29,000 Neo cash. Of course, none of these squares are fully upgraded, not even the first one over here. And I'm going to calculate, while I'm editing this, how much Frosty Fjords can provide once I've fully upgraded them all. I'll just add that in a little text at some point. Now, as you can see, the first plot of land from Frosty Fjords, I actually kept that empty. Well, at some point I tried making another grid in here, but I was like, it's the only winter plot that we continuously have. So I'm thinking of maybe trying to make this like an actual alpine looking area. So we have a collection of epic buildings. I'm sure you know these ones. They look like they belong in the Alps, not necessarily the fjords of Norway. I don't know if Sweden has fjords. I don't think so. I'm not sure. But these look a little bit more alpine than Scandinavian, but it's what I'm going to try to go for. I also have some buildings that look like old market squares from past seasons. And you also have the old townhouses. So I'm going to try to make a mix out of those. But back to Frosty Fjords. There are several Omega layouts, but the smallest one is the only one that properly fit in here. I'm missing one square off to the side to do the medium-sized Omega plot design. And since you have 16 buildings in the small square compared to only 31 buildings in the medium rectangle, it is actually more beneficial to only work with the small squares. Of course, the downside is that as you add more and more squares and you need more and more control net towers, the price of the small control net tower actually increases drastically. If I want to build one more, I would need 151 neocache, which I was like, that's insane. Which is the second reason why I've been keeping this third plot over here in Frosty Fjords empty, because I don't really feel like adding more of those squares, especially not if I need to save up for over a week just to put down the control net tower. So the goal is the goal that I want to attempt is to make the majority of Frosty Fjords my bank, with on the side a very pretty Christmas town covered in snow, with old-fashioned alpine-looking houses that you would see in France, Switzerland, the north of Italy, maybe even Slovenia and Croatia. And Austria, of course. And the south of Germany, yeah. I'm not entirely certain if I want to do a lot of epics, because my capital has plenty of epic buildings. More than I need, actually. But I created most of those in the era when you only needed, I think 100 points, maybe 120 to score the golden coin. I'm gonna do this. These days you need twice as much, so it's twice as hard. And as you can see, I haven't placed down all that many mountainside So to actually accomplish that, I would have to save up on coins on keys first, just so that I can put down loads of those mountain specialization mountain buildings, and that's just going to take a little bit too long. So to start, I'm probably just going to put down a lot of those old townhouses and see whatever houses fit from previous seasons. So yeah, that is how I sacrificed one region to turn it into my cash machine for Neo Simoleons. Simply because aesthetically, the houses that belong to this region don't please me. I'm sure that everybody has a favorite region, and out of all the regions, Frosty Fjords is the most tricky because it's long, narrow slots of land that you slowly unlock. Of course, it has its appeal of the snow, but still, I would encourage you to evaluate how intensely you want to attempt building it up with normal residences. It's very tricky. Whereas the Omega buildings in the most beneficial small layout, they're a perfect fit. I went for it. Maybe you could too. Maybe, just like me, you could save up one of these snowy areas to do the Snowy Town theme, which I plan to do in the next few months. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Maybe like, maybe subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.